Welcome back to Star Wars Nerds Unite, a discussion and review podcast focused on Star Wars. I'm your host, Tim Van Autrive. Joining me, as always, Josh the Tosh, internet famous Mason.
Hello.
And Jennifer Van Autrive.
Hi.
Hello. It's been a while since we recorded, so we're maybe a little rusty. We're gonna break the rust off here. Shake, shake, shake. Brush, brush. Where are you guys at in your Star Wars journeys right now? I know I, for one, am currently playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I've never actually beaten the game, but I've started it like about 6 hours in, about 5 times.
Are you playing it on PC?
No, right now I am playing it on Switch.
Oh.
I've gotten the furthest on PC. I think I made it 8 hours once.
This is not the remastered one, because they haven't come out with that one yet, right?
It's the one that Asper Media built just for Switch.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the one I'm playing because it has controller support.
Yeah.
I wanted to play on Steam Deck, but the interface for it is terrible. It basically doesn't work.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I also been playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It's one of those.
You still play that?
No, I play it once again.
Oh, okay.
I stopped for a long time and then started, and then I was way behind, and I had already started behind because that's how you always are, unless you spend tens of thousands of dollars. I've been watching Bad Batch. I'm on season 2, about halfway done with that.
Yeah. I can't finish. Bad Batch is just, I don't know. I can't get into it.
Are you serious?
He's obsessed with it.
Oh,
I haven't
man.
watched it. He started it without me.
I like it quite a lot. I like it better than I like Clone Wars, I think.
I think it's better than Clone Wars, but at the same time, I just don't like, I don't know. They're so unbelievable how much better they are than normal clones.
Well, they're genetically modified.
I know, I understand
on
that,
purpose.
but they're so much better than normal clones.
What? Well, they're better at different stuff because they've been genetically modified.
I know.
They also look different. We can talk about Bad Batch in another episode, but I just wanted to bring everybody up to speed on what I was consuming right now. But yeah, I love it right now. That's basically all I'm at with Star Wars right now. As far as what I'm doing right now.
The Mandalorian?
No,
We haven't watched the last
I can't watch it because Jenny won't finish
I
Boba Fett.
am trying to finish Boba Fett. We were going to start Mandalorian, and then I found out you had to.
You don't have to.
Well, everybody said you should watch Boba Fett before you watch.
Who's everybody?
I don't know. 3 people. I can't remember.
You don't need to watch it.
Tim was one of them. And
There's quite a bit of Mandalorian in Boba Fett.
Yeah,
So,
but it's like...
I don't hate Boba Fett or dislike it. I just could care less, really. It's just I feel like it's like a chore. And
Boba Fett.
I watched maybe 4 episodes of it. I just need to get through it. I was doing it kind of regularly, and then I fell off track. I gotta finish
Regularly
it.
4 episodes.
So
you haven't started season 3?
No.
Of The Mandalorian?
No. Nope.
No, and I'm not allowed to watch it without her. So
But he watched Bad Batch without me, without even mentioning it.
that's because I
It's
know
a lot of episodes.
You won't watch the cartoons.
I've watched. What do you mean? I spent half my life watching Rebels.
That was the one. That was the one.
Now when I watch other Star Wars cartoons, they don't compare to Rebels, so I just can't get into it.
The good news for you is the Ahsoka series is going to be on soon. In a couple months.
And it's an animated
August?
show?
No, it's a live action.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've just been trying to watch Boba Fett, and then the Star Wars Celebrations is going on, right? Or
It
just
was
got over?
a week ago. It was in London.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd tell you lots of things, but it would spoil stuff for you.
Oh, really? Because I
Yeah.
have to watch Mandalorian?
Yeah.
There's some stuff you can say.
Well, yeah. Nolan told me that there's going to be some more movies coming out.
Well, they announced movies 3 years ago, and they all vanished. Now they've announced 3 more movies again, and they're totally going to happen this time.
Yeah, they're not going to vanish. Dave Filoni's doing one of the movies.
Yes. He's doing the one that's supposed... So they said they're going to do one that's like before, like back in the High Republic, or even pre-High Republic, which that's a bunch of books and comics that you haven't read. And then they're going to have one that's in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, that's the Dave Filoni one. And then there's going to be one that's after The Rise of Skywalker, and Rey will be back.
Yeah, I heard that part.
That's supposedly the one that's going to come the soonest. Maybe 2025?
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else was there? There's more TV shows, aren't there?
There's a bunch of TV stuff. And then they talked a lot about the High Republic. So the movies were the biggest news. But yeah, I mean, the TV show stuff is like, I can't say it without spoiling things.
Okay, don't say it then.
Because you haven't watched The Mandalorian.
You know what I did watch?
What did you watch?
Oh my god.
I thought you were going to say like Girls or something.
Oh, no.
Andor?
No, yes, I watched
say you watched
Andor.
Andor?
The other Pedro Pascal series was just on
Oh,
The
Last of Us.
Last of Us. Yeah. I did watch that.
Have you played that video game?
The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Yes. I played it back when it came out forever ago.
I've been thinking about buying it on Steam Deck, but it's $60 and everyone says that it is super crashy. So I didn't commit.
The PC version of it's terrible.
Okay.
I played it on PlayStation when it came out.
Well, I don't play things that aren't on a handheld gaming system anymore.
Yeah. It's okay.
My
the
brother
gameplay isn't that
loves it.
memorable. The story is the best part about it. So,
And we already know
like, if you've
we
already
know
watched the
whole
show,
story.
you know the whole story. So I don't know how much you would get out of it. The game, yeah, it's a survival game. You just end up spending most of the game being angry that you don't have any ammo for anything. So
Cool.
yeah,
Sounds fun.
yeah.
Where are you at in your Star Wars journey, Josh? What are you consuming right now?
The Mandalorian season 3.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's the sequel to, I can't remember what the stupid name is, but the game with Cal Kestis, Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
It comes out really soon, like in the next couple of weeks.
Is it a couple weeks? I thought it was a couple months.
We'll find out, but it's soon. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
It'll be super fun. That game was really good, and supposedly all the things that were kind of weak in the game, like the combat, they've focused a lot on making it more challenging, and they said it's more like Elden Ring. So,
Oh,
yeah.
it's gonna be too hard for me then.
Well, it'll be fun though.
Elden Ring was way too hard for me. The only way I could beat anything was with Josh helping me with some mod where we could play multiplayer all the time.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is, so.
It's like the best game that came out in the last.
Is
2
that,
years.
you played that on your Steam Deck?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it a Star Wars game?
No.
Like a Lord of the Rings game?
No, it's its own separate IP.
It's written by George R.R. Martin, though.
He helped with the kind of the background of the world.
I thought he wrote it. I thought he was responsible for it.
No, I mean they marketed it in a way that made people think that.
Oh, okay. Well done.
Yeah,
Well marketed.
yeah. He like drew the blueprint for the backstory of the world. The reason that I grabbed this, and I guess this is a mild spoiler, but you remember the Ghost Lego and how it like went out of production before we started watching Rebels.
Yeah, and that was very sad.
Yeah, and it's like $600 or more. Well, they're making another Ghost.
Yes.
Comes out later this year.
Yes, they are. I have every intention of purchasing it.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
A Lego Ghost?
Yeah.
How big is it?
It's not like
Yay
a
big.
UCS one. It's their we're going to charge you $200 for a $100 Lego size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Where are you going to put it? We have Legos around this room.
I'm going to put it in our bedroom, probably.
Oh, great. We already have that big roller coaster.
The new one or the old one?
No, the like Creator one. The Creator 3-in-1, the Pirate one.
Oh, not the big one.
No, not the big one.
It's on our dresser.
Couldn't afford the big one.
It's pretty big.
It's
not a small roller coaster.
It's not the big one.
Yeah, if you saw
Max
the big
can
one,
almost fit in it.
You would not think that it was a big one.
Max is in a beanbag in here, and he keeps rustling around. He has his headphones on, so he can't hear how loud he's being.
Not that he would care.
No, he doesn't.
There was other Lego sets. The UCS Venator.
No.
Or the Venator class.
No. There has not been a UCS Venator.
Yes.
No, there hasn't.
It's coming out.
Oh, there's rumors.
No, it's not a rumor. It got
I have
announced.
not seen any announcement for it.
Yeah, it got announced.
I'll have to look.
Fact check.
No, I just haven't seen. I want to see it. The Ghost, I think, comes out on the 4th. No, it's UCS X-Wing is the next UCS. Comes out May 4th.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah, maybe the UCS
Everyone's
one.
complaining about it because it doesn't look like an X-Wing.
Yes, it does.
It sort of doesn't. I
It
get
has-
what they're complaining
It
about.
has X's for wings.
Yeah, but some of the details are kind of wank, but that's okay. It looks cool. And I don't have a UCS Red 5, so I'll be getting one probably. That's all like Lego news.
There's nothing wrong with Lego news. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't see a UCS Venator.
Well, maybe it hasn't been officially announced then.
Maybe
it's
this
just
was a dream you had.
No, in Lego leaks, it's like big time.
These things, they leak early, like way early. And they usually do 2 a year. So
To what?
the
a
rumor
year?
is October 1st, a UCS Venator will come out. They do 2 UCS sets.
What is UCS?
Ultimate Collector's Series. Basically,
The AT-AT.
the Legos that are made for adults with lots of money. Not children. They're not to play with, they're to look at. And build.
And for the AT-AT,
Our brother-in-law
you should barely look at it.
Our brother-in-law tried to play with that,
Did he?
and he broke it.
Andrew?
No. It was
James?
Kendon.
Oh.
He was.
It took me like 2 hours to
fix
figure
it,
out
yeah.
how to put it back together.
Yeah.
He was like, Tim. He was like literally trying to play with it and like moves, like open it and stuff and look inside.
Yeah, they're not made for that. Unfortunately.
Well, that one is especially crumbly.
Well, so's the Millennium Falcon.
Is it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I thought you could at least lift that one.
I mean, you can pick it up, but all the doors and stuff that come off are real, just sort of dangling on.
Yeah. Yeah, that AT-AT, every time I pick it up, I'm like positive I'm going to drop it or it's going to like just fall apart and crumble in my hands. Not the best built set.
But it looked great.
It does look super sweet. We're gathered here today to not just catch up with one another, but to talk about the Star Wars series Andor. We're a little late to talk about it, but you know what? Better late than never. Never. I said it right. Better late than never. Jenny,
Yes.
why don't you tell us about Andor?
I told you I can't
All right,
do it.
whatever.
So I started taking notes like I do when I start watching a show that we're going to podcast about. I like type the whole time I'm watching. I try to so I can like remember, so I can do a synopsis.
She writes down every sentence in the script.
I wish they could just send me the script. It'd make it a lot easier. But I was like really frustrated when I started watching Andor. It was really, I didn't get into it like for a while, like probably the 4th episode in, because it was frustrating to try to capture, like type everything that was going on, because there was so much going on and there were so many new characters and like so many new places, and I had no idea who anybody was. And then after the 3rd episode, I just stopped typing. I stopped because I just started watching it because I couldn't keep up. It was just constant. There's so much that goes on in this season. Almost everybody's a new character. But then I really, really started liking it. And it is, I think Andor is my favorite Star Wars series that's ever been out. I like Mandalorian a lot, but I definitely think Andor's a better show. I like it for a lot of reasons.
The viewing public would disagree with you.
Why?
It's like the lowest rated one.
It is the lowest rated one, but it's the most critically acclaimed.
It is an excellent show. Like, if you could just, I mean, this could be if they just like split it up, this could have been like a trilogy, like movies that I'd go to in the movie theater. Like, it's so well written, and I don't know. I liked it because, well, I don't know if I should try to talk about what happens in it first, but some of the things I liked about it, like if they just took out the droids and like, it could have just been a movie, like outside of Star Wars. Like if they just changed a few little things, like it could have just been a really good movie that had nothing to do with like Star Wars. There wasn't a lot of like the Force or anything. It was just the people.
It was a lot of normal people.
Yeah, it was just people. I'll try to synopsize it, I guess, but
it's easiest told is like it's like 4 different arcs.
Yeah, so it starts out with Cassian. He's on some planet we've never heard of. I think it reminds you of like the one.
You're talking about the rainy planet.
Yeah, it reminds you of like some seedy Vegas type red light town. There's like a bunch of bars and stuff.
Well, it's a company planet. So like it's like a mining town. Is the best way to explain it. And so the part that he goes to is like the company sanctioned illicit activity area of the mining town.
The watering hole.
So he goes into this bar. It's like a very nice, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like a canteen or something. It's a very nice establishment. And he's trying to find this girl. You find out he's looking for his sister. And they're from the planet.
We don't know where they're from.
Yeah, no, he says it. He asked Kanari. He like immediately is like, I'm looking for a girl that worked here. She was from Kanari. I heard she worked here, blah, blah, blah.
But that we don't know that that's where they're from.
Well, until later in this
I'm saying
episode.
All we know is, because they were in a Lord of the Flies situation, right? Like their ship crash landed there. And all the adults were dead. And so the kids were all taking care of themselves.
Okay, well that's where he...
So we don't know if that's the planet that they're actually from, or...
Why wouldn't we know that?
Because we don't we don't ever see his parents. We don't see how they ever got there.
Well, he's looking for a girl named Kanari that's his sister. She doesn't work there anymore. But when he comes in...
But the backstory is she got abducted, right? By the mining people?
Well, it doesn't talk about that at all.
I thought she did.
No idea.
She was abducted by someone.
It doesn't... I don't think it goes into any... It doesn't give you any explanation as to what's happened to her at all.
Yes, it does. Well, okay, so it insinuates it strongly when the ship flies down. I think it's an Imperial ship.
I thought it was just a ship. But anyways.
Doesn't matter.
You mean when she's a child and stuff?
Yes. She is taken away from the rest of the Lord of the Flies children when he is a small child.
Well, the
I don't even... Okay, I totally missed that part. Because I didn't see her being taken away.
Okay. Doesn't matter. None of this matters.
He's taken away. So, anyway, he's looking for his sister at this bar. That's like, I don't know, maybe a strip club, maybe it's a brothel, I don't know. But there's these two... Yeah, well, it seems like that's what it is. There's these two security guard officer guys sitting at the bar, and they are really angry that he got helped before them. They've been waiting. And so they kind of like follow him out and start trying to mess with him. And there's a scuffle. And he accidentally kills one of them. And then the other one is like, it was an accident. Let's go to the downtown and we'll explain it and it'll be okay. It'll be okay. And then he just shoots him in the face. Andor shoots him in the face. So like immediately in the very first episode, it's like very clear that it's like gritty and he's not really a good guy. Like it's not like black and white where there's like the light and the dark and there's good guys and bad guys. He's flawed, and so that was very different than
he
most
just has a
Star
very
Wars shows.
personal agenda. He's going to look
Right,
out for
well,
himself
yeah,
more than anyone else at the start of the series.
Yeah, and so he gets back to where he goes back to this other planet called Ferrix where he's living. It's like a mine. I don't know if it's mining or junkyard town or
They're
something.
stripping old spaceships.
So,
There was a giant battle, and a bunch of like Star Destroyers and stuff crashed on the planet. It was a battle during the Clone Wars, I think, if I remember right. Like it was in the Clone Wars TV show. And so they strip parts out of the ships. But
so it's called Ferrix. That's where he's currently living. You're introduced to a new droid that is super cute. B2 is his name. And
he looks like a filing cabinet.
he's very old. He's not very powerful. And then Andor starts like dreaming and kind of having like flashbacks to when he was young, and he's in some kind of village with his sister. There is like a forest. It looks like a big forest along a river, and you can see a ship. This group of kids can see this ship coming towards the planet and crashing down onto the planet. It just keeps flashing back to when he was a kid, off and on. And so I don't know how much detail I should get into.
Not very much.
But okay. I don't know. So you're introduced to a lot of different people on this Ferrix planet. His best friend that lives there is Brasso. He's like some kind of blue collar worker stripping parts or whatever. He tries to get Brasso to agree to cover for him, give him an alibi in case somebody catches on about him murdering those two security guards. And then you also meet his ex-girlfriend who's named Bix. He wants to sell. You find out like she has some kind of contact that buys rare parts, and Andor's been holding on to this part, and he's trying to get, it's called a Star Path unit or something. He's trying to get her to get him in contact with her contacts so he can sell it and get off the planet.
It's basically like a GPS for hyperspace lanes.
Yeah.
But it's an Imperial one. That's the key thing.
So he just keeps flashing back to his home planet when he was a kid, and then it was like, what did you say? It was like Lord of the Flies or something? Yeah, they like shows him like putting war paint on and stuff.
You're getting too chatty.
I know. I'm reading my old notes from the first 3 episodes. So anyway, go ahead.
The company investigator is played up for the first 3 episodes like the foil. His name is Cyril. He's doing, he's investigating the murder of these 2 people. And he's very like, I don't know,
his
jingoistic
boss.
And patriotic, which is weird because he works for a company. But he's like, we need to,
he wants to find who did this and
get
make them
vengeance
pay.
and justice. And so he ends up finding out it's Cassian. He's on Ferrix. They get a team together with an Irish guy who's like an Irish
Scottish.
Nazi. Or Scottish. Yeah, he
has a very harsh Scottish accent. It's hard to understand him.
And they go down and they try and capture Cassian. And at the same time, Cassian's trying to make this deal to sell this GPS unit. And so he's meeting with Bix's source, or like
Contact.
yeah, the broker, to broker this deal, and so everything comes to a head where these company men are trying to get to Cassian, but then at the same time he's trying to make this deal, and we end up finding out the broker is this guy Luthien, and Luthien's not, he's interested in the GPS, but he's more interested in the person that was able to acquire the GPS, because these things are very hard to get a hold of. In the end, he ends up escaping Ferrix with Luthien from Cyril and the other goons.
And
the company
Luthen,
goons.
he's played by Alexander Skarsgård's dad.
So like that's
I don't know his first name. The original Skarsgård.
yeah. So that's like the first 3 episodes.
And you also meet his mother, his adopted mother or whatever, Marva.
Right. She ends up capturing Cassian.
Yeah, so this is what I remember from their home planet. The kids come down to find the ship that they saw crashed, and there's like 2 people from the ship on the ground. They assume they're dead. They're the pilot and whoever.
Right,
they're on the ground, right? So like the lead girl, the oldest of the girls, who's like the leader, goes closer to the ship to like investigate it, and then one of the guys from the ship shoots her.
They beat up all the dudes.
Yeah, and then
Cassian goes into the ship.
Yeah, all the kids start fighting these, throwing darts at them. They don't have any actual technology, but then Cassian gets onto the ship.
And he goes around looking for stuff.
Yes,
and he
then
runs into these 2 salvages.
But his sister wasn't there. They left.
Right, she wasn't on the raid.
She wasn't, yeah. So then while he's on this ship, Marva and her longtime friend, I can't remember his name right now, they come to the planet.
They're salvaging from this ship because this ship just got shot out of the space. And they know that the Imperials are going to come get it. So they're just coming in to steal, basically.
Right. And
she's like...
She takes
Yeah, she's like, you're going to get killed unless you come with us.
So she takes him. But I never saw anything happen with his sister. Except then
Yeah, she just was... We don't ever see her again.
But you don't see anybody take her, right?
No, okay. You don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there was something that I missed. Yeah, so that's how he gets with Marva. I think that's how you say her name.
Yep.
And she lives on Ferrix, and she pretty much raises him and their family.
Yep.
He considers her his mother, but he does have memories of what actually happened. He knows she's not his real mother, but
right.
Also their whole lives they've been hiding the fact that he's from Canary.
Right.
So they made up a whole different identity for him. So for some reason it's a big secret where he
that we don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. So then what's the next chunk of story?
The next chunk of story, there's Luthen and Cassian escape from the group that are trying to get him for killing those 2 guards.
Much detail.
Okay, Luthen wants to promote or like get him into the rebellion. So he's at first like, no way, but then he offers him just to pay him to be a part of this crew. They're gonna steal a bunch of credits from this planet, and he already has the crew. Everybody else has already been working the job, and he just needs to come in and help them get this money. And he has experience as a pilot. I think that's one reason. And he finds out how he got that GPS off the Imperial ship. So he agrees to do that because of the money aspect of it. So then they go to the planet where they're planning this heist. I can't remember what the planet. It's just like it's like
Moldani or
it's
Atollin.
Just there's like nothing there. It's like this nomadic people live there. It's just like a bunch of country like side. There's no cities. It's not. There's nobody living there besides these like nomadic people. So anyways, he agrees. Then you meet the other crew
that are training.
Yeah, you meet the other people in this crew. They don't want him. They're like really pissed that Luthen tried to bring in a new person so late in the game because they've been working at it forever. But he finds out like what their big plan is and how they're gonna get in and steal all these credits. It's like an insane amount of money that they're storing on this planet.
So they talk about different regions of the galaxy, and the Empire has these like regional banks. It's kind of like a Fort Knox, basically. And so this location is one of the regional distribution centers for credits for the Empire. So it's a ton of money.
Mm-hmm. And they have an inside man that's at the space, and there's this event.
Still too much detail.
There's like, I'm talking about how they're going to escape. There's like this astrological event coming up that comes up like every 50 years or 50, I don't even know. There's like a huge meteor shower, but it's like,
I think it happens every year, every 3 years.
Okay. 1 billion times more than just a regular meteor shower. So they're going to use that event while everybody's distracted, to escape. And then their idea is that they're not going to be seen as they're flying away. So eventually he like kind of gets the trust of some of the people in the crew. So that's going on.
Still too much detail.
Okay, you tell me.
They rob the place.
What's the next
They get away.
arc?
But as you would expect, everything goes awry. There's traitors in their midst. But ultimately, Andor looks out for himself. He doesn't betray the mission entirely, but he does. In the end, he doesn't go along with it. He takes his cut and he leaves, and he gets out of there because he knows that Luthien. He doesn't trust Luthien or Luthen. I can't remember
one
his
of the
name.
guys that was in the crew.
Yeah, that's
tries
the traitor
to
in the
get.
midst.
Yeah, he tries to
We already
get.
covered that bridge.
Well, no,
We're
you
2
said
counties have passed it already.
he
That
tries
dude's
to
dead
get
on some
Andor
moon.
to join him and take all the money and
Right.
split all the money, but he doesn't do that.
Right.
So, I mean, he's not just for himself.
He's out for himself, 100% still at this
Yeah.
point. But there was a kid in the group that he kind of connected with, and he started to feel, more. It's just more reason for him to not like the Empire. Just another seed.
He was
planted.
killed like just a freak accident on the ship. We got crushed when they were taken off or something, and he just died.
Irrelevant. He's
Okay.
So that's the end of part 2 of Andor.
There's so many other things going on, though.
There
Doesn't
really isn't.
matter.
There really isn't.
Doesn't matter.
The key part about that whole thing is that money ends up funding the rebellion, the start of the rebellion. He doesn't know that that's what he's doing, but that's what the whole goal of this mission was. So now the next phase is he's got his chunk, and he thinks he's just going to go hide out on a planet with a nest egg for the rest of his life, because he stole enough. He's still on the run from this company that he murdered 2 people. He's still going to look for his sister, but he's basically cut ties with everybody else. And he gets kind of stupidly captured by the Empire.
He's just
and
literally
sentenced-
just like walking, doing nothing.
Right.
And they accuse him of running away and being suspicious, and then he
gets sentenced to a labor planet, basically.
for 6 years.
Yeah. And so that's what he ends up doing for like this whole chunk of the story. Kind of in parallel on Coruscant, they tell the story of like the politics that are going on and how Mon Mothma is leading the rebellion from the shadows, basically. But Luthien is like her contact to the rebellion.
Yeah, she's giving him money.
Right, until this Eldani thing, she was the main source of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they needed this plan to go through. But he talks to your favorite character multiple times. Saul Guerrero.
Yeah, Luthen
Old
does.
Deadeye. and some of the other rebel factions. So he's kind of orchestrating things from that end. And he's kind of like the spy master is the best way to explain it. So he's got sources all over the place. But kind of the parallel story that's going on is how the ISB is starting to get wind of Cassian and Luthien. And they're getting wind of the rebellion. They're seeing the seeds of the rebellion, out there, and I can't remember the lady. What's her name?
The officer.
Yeah.
Um.
Darn it.
We could find it really fast.
Dead Space. She is the one that's sort of piecing it together. That there's something bigger going on.
Yeah, you get there's a lot of insight into like the bureaucracy of the empire. There's like having meetings together. It's like you see like their office building basically, and all these people that are just in intelligence and things, and like she's kind of like overstepping, but she's really interested in different things that she sees going on and trends. And the serial guy got fired after he took like 12 people to Ferrix to try to capture Cassian after his boss told him just to like ignore the whole thing. So he gets all those people killed and everything blows up. So he gets fired. He's weird. He is a weirdo. And
his mom is way weirder.
He moves in with his mom. That's what I'm saying. There's so many weird things going on. He moves into this apartment with his mom, and he eats cereal every morning with blue milk.
Well, it's space cereal. We don't know what it is.
It is weird. And his
it could
mom...
be like the finest food.
His mom is like so controlling and so judgmental and always... And he's just got... There's just a weird dynamic between those two. You can see him just strangling her in her sleep one day. He hates his mother.
She's super overbearing, and the character's name is Deidre Miro.
Oh yeah, Deidre.
That works at the ISB. The other kind of important character is Vel. She was one of the people on Aldhani that was leading the mission, and you end up finding out that she's Mon Mothma's cousin.
That's
so
interesting.
She's kind of like a spy in the rebellion, and Mon Mothma knows it, but nobody else knows it.
Does she know that?
She knows that she's working for the rebellion, but she doesn't know that she's working for Luthen. So like, there's just so much weird intrigue going on. There's a whole subplot line about how Mon Mothma really hates how traditionalist Chandrillans are, and her husband is like kind of like a playboy, and he's very traditional, and he wants to have their daughter, because Mon Mothma and this guy that are married, they got engaged when they were like 12 or 13, I can't remember, and she hates it. Like, she doesn't hate him, but she hates the fact that she was forced to do that. And they have a daughter, and there's this whole plot line the whole season about how she wants her daughter to be able to make her own choice.
And her daughter kind of likes her dad more. Yeah, they're kind of like against, they both kind of team up against Mon Mothma, and she just can't win with anybody.
So, while that's all going on, Cassian's in this prison that's got... Smeagol is like in charge of his work detail, and they end up doing a jailbreak. Like, that's all you really need to know.
They're building parts for the Death Star all day long, and they're like competing against each other in their own. That's
irrelevant.
The floor is electric. I don't know. Like, there's so many things, and there's just, I don't know.
So he ends up escaping. Ultimately with one other person, and then
not one other person, it's like a huge prison break, like a million people escape.
We only see 2 people that get out.
I think a lot more of them got out than that. Like,
we only know for sure that these 2 dudes
the whole prison was rushing out. It was crazy.
And so he decides he's going to go back to Ferrix. Is ultimately what he's going to do, because he wants to go... He gets contacted by...
He found out his mom's died.
Right. The droid that's a rolling cabinet...
B2.
Sends him a message that Marva had died. And so... In the meantime, the Imperials have been clamping down on Ferrix. They built a garrison there. Now there's like a... Where it used to be just like this, outcast planet with no law. now the Empire.
Well, they found out
Lutheran,
that his mom died, so they think he's coming back. So they're
gonna set a trap. Meanwhile, company man Cyril, he's gonna set a trap. Deirdre's gonna set a trap. Everybody's trapping old Cassian, and there ends up being an uprising, and Cassian and ends up with Luthen, and they escape from the fracas that's going on Ferrix.
well,
And that's really the end of the series, is where Luthen and Cassian are in a standoff, and Luthen's like, "Are you still in it for you?" Because Marva was very much against the Empire, and so one of her last acts was a way to kind of stick it to the Empire.
She
And
made
that
a
whole situation-
hologram video recording of herself talking about how if she could do it all over again, she would have fought more. Like, because she kind of just got to the point where she was just living her life quietly, trying to avoid more trouble, and she wasn't fighting back anymore. And so she caused a huge with the funeral. It's like in the middle of the town, everybody's there, and they had this huge hologram of her playing, and it got everybody riled up. She was like a big important person on this planet, so everybody was there, and it was, she just gave this big inspiring speech, and the Imperial people are there, and they finally just like kick over the hologram thing so that she stops talking because everybody's getting riled up. So then that like incites a huge riot. People are...
That was the fracas I mentioned.
Okay. And then you also... Bix, the girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, she had been captured by the Empire because they were trying to get her to turn on him and tell them where she was. They were torturing her, like psychological torture.
Stuff.
Yeah, they're torturing her. She's imprisoned on the planet. Cassian saves her and gets her to safety while this whole riot's going on. And her new boyfriend, his name is Tim. Coincidence? I don't know. He's a little turd.
Mm-hmm.
He turned in Cassian.
No coincidence.
He's the one that originally got the Empire involved and like turned him in the first place, because he saw some bulletin about how they were looking for somebody from Canary or whatever that fit this description, and he was jealous of him because Bix still had a relationship. Yeah, he got killed, as he should. But I'm just saying, like, you didn't talk about him at all.
Because he
doesn't matter.
He doesn't. It's just.
Well, that was like a catalyst for how they even got turned on to
it doesn't
Andor.
matter.
There's just so many things. I'm just saying, there's like
we're trying
so
to
much
dilute
that could happen.
a whole season into a hopefully 10-minute, but actually 30-minute
synopsis.
I know, like, and you
keep
miss a
trying
lot.
to hammer in detail.
I'm trying to give important details. And just what I'm saying, this could have been a trilogy, like a major motion pictures.
It was an 8-hour-long series,
right?
Which would have been 3 movies.
And so the season ends with Luthen and Andor in a Mexican shootout, and Luthen saying, would you rather fight, or would you rather still just be in it for yourself? And Cassian decides he's in it for the good fight.
We
think.
The end.
He doesn't answer.
No, he does give him a stern look, though.
Yeah. So that's Andor. In one rambly...
No, there was 2. There was 2 sets of rambles going on. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed Andor. I watched it at nighttime in the comfort of my own bed with my beautiful wife next to me. I can't think of any better way to consume that media than the way that I consumed it. And it was good. It was a good story. I was entertained, engaged. I remembered more of it than I thought I did. I like how gritty it was. I like how real world it was. It makes Star Wars feel more real. And I like stories that do that.
Well, and it was also smaller scale.
Yeah.
And smaller...
Nothing was trying to blow up an entire planet.
Right.
Or sun.
It was kind of... It just... Yeah, I liked it a lot. It just was all over the place. There's so many characters.
That's what I was saying. It's hard to even keep up in the beginning. And, yeah.
And I don't know.
Another thing that happened so when the riot was going on at the end, at the funeral, Deidre gets
Cyril saves
Cyril, this is a whole other plot line. He gets weirdly obsessed with Deidre. He starts trying to take information to her in the beginning because I don't remember how he got first introduced to her, but he realized
they questioned him because he was the person that was there when Cassian met the broker, and so they asked him, "Did you see the broker?" And his answer was no, and they walked out. That was it.
But then he gets weirdly obsessed with getting back into the government and getting back into the Empire.
He wants to get Cassian.
Yeah.
He felt like he let everybody down, and his honor
he
was
blames Cassian for everything. And so then he gets obsessed with Deidre, and he keeps trying to contact her, and she's like, "Leave me alone." She doesn't want anything to do with him. But then during the riot, she's almost killed. She's like in the middle of it, and she gets knocked to the ground. And then he comes out of the shadows and saves her life. And they both creep me out so much. They're just the weirdest two people.
I was rooting for them. They were my favorite.
Barf.
They were my favorite characters.
Shut up. He likes to say people are his favorite characters when he knows it'll irritate me to death.
Yeah, it works 100% of the time.
As soon as he knows I don't like somebody, I'd be like, "What do you think?" He'll be like, "I like them. They're my favorite."
But they're going to make one more season, and that's it.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I didn't think it got renewed or whatever.
Oh, yeah, they're already working on it.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll meet K2SO.
Well, it feels like there's so much stuff that still has to happen.
Just that.
To get to Rogue One. Well, they've got so many plot lines out there. Like, they focus so hard on his sister. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Who cares? It just shows that he cares about his family. That's all it does. It's just establishing that family's important to him.
I don't
which
think that's what
justifies
that's
why he comes back to the planet for his mother's funeral.
I don't think that's what that's about. I think there's something else going on there.
I respectfully disagree. That's fine.
They got the ISB and Cyril. They're going to chase after Cassian.
And Deidre
and Cyril.
Oh my god.
They're going to chase after Cassian. Cassian has to get K2. He's got to find his sister.
His U-Wing. He's got to find his U-Wing.
He's got to find his U-Wing. I don't know. And then they got all this Mon Mothma stuff going on. And like her cousin...
No, you didn't even say who Luthen really was.
Nobody knows who he is.
No, he's like he has a store. He has an artifact store. That's like the front for. That's how Mon Mothma talks to him. She goes to this store all the time and acts like she's buying crap for her husband.
Right. But nobody knows who he is. Lots of people. So while the series was going on, everybody speculated that he was like some Jedi, some former Jedi. Everybody wants him to be a Jedi.
Meh.
I don't think he is.
I don't need people to be Jedis.
Yeah, there was no Jedis in this, and there was no lightsabers and no
force, no nothing.
No force magic. It was just people and droids.
That's why people hated it.
I didn't know people didn't like it.
I'd say it wasn't that people hated it, they just didn't watch it.
I think it was kind of confusing in the beginning because there were so many new things going on, but
when it was slow.
Once I got to the 4th episode, it was very, very good. I hate saying that, like, oh, you gotta stick through it, because if you don't like it from the beginning, I hate to have to keep going. But it did really get really good. Yeah,
it's definitely one that
slow burn
was very slow starting, and they'd spend the whole episode and nothing would happen. It'd just be people talking and.
I think the best parts was the prison riot. They just have some really good speeches. Like the prison riot when he was on, what's his name? The guy, he's in the Lord of the Rings, the actor.
Smeagol.
Okay, whatever. That's not his real name, but when he gets on the speaker of the prison and he like gets everybody inspired to fight, and that was amazing. And then Marva's speech when she's the dead hologram, that was really uplifting. She gets every single person, even kids are fighting. It was just good writing. I feel like it was just really
the
good.
One who makes kids fight.
Yeah.
Kids fight all the time.
I mean, she just made the whole planet like come together. And
At least this town of homemade instruments.
well, you think it's all? I mean, that's the only thing they ever show of the planet. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, that was Andor. Shot for shot.
Almost.
Oh my gosh!
So if you haven't watched it and you couldn't get past episode 3,
Now you know it gets way better.
You should fight through it.
Yeah, you should. Well, I don't know why you stopped in the first place, but you should definitely watch it. I don't think people would say the same for Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
The thing is Book of Boba Fett, like, it's like you want to watch it so that you're fully caught up for Mandalorian season 3. That stuff is like, it's like episode 3 and episode 7, and like you kind of have to watch the whole thing because they intersperse it throughout.
It's pretty much the last like 3 or 4 episodes is where the Mando stuff is. There's nothing in the first.
Yeah,
4.
well, we've already watched 3 or 4 episodes, and there's
I know.
nothing so far that I'm like, what do we need to do?
Mando
this
shows up and it's a big deal.
Yeah. So you haven't seen him go to Jabba's palace yet. That's where he first shows up.
Yes, we have seen him go to Jabba's palace. But that's not where he first shows up.
I
mean, he may show up at the palace, but
no, I thought he was on the raid to the palace.
no, he's already gotten the palace.
I thought Mando helped him with that. Pretty sure he did.
Mando hasn't been in it at all yet in any of the ones we've watched, so I don't know.
Anyway,
it's just so slow. It's just so slow.
Boba Fett.
It's
how's my Boba Fett?
It's fine.
Close.
Yes.
They made it super long, and then it has. It seems like
it's like you watch it on a sleepy Sunday when it's raining outside and you want to take a nap.
No,
I mean that's what Boba Fett.
Sunday.
It's sleepy Sunday right now.
I know.
We could watch Boba right after this.
Out.
We should do it so we can watch Mandalorian. But we could pump 4 episodes out.
It has ramifications for the Mandalorian. That's the main thing. Like, it's annoying that they did that.
Yes. 'Tis. Uh-oh. Max is in here and he's getting whispered to.
It's very exciting.
Yes, it is. Okay. I think the podcast is over.
Sorry, I was trying to keep Max from being louder.
He was not being loud. He was fine.
It looks like he just wants to yell.
Any second.
I know your ears are hurting. Max has his dad's ears, and he's been having to wear headphones, and
it's still recording.
I know it's recording.
Yeah, it's recording, and you're talking.
Yeah, shh. Quiet.
What?
It's recording when you...
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, no.
Okay. I think we're pretty much done
Wait,
with
what
the
are we going to
podcast.
talk about next? Are we going to talk about Boba Fett?
It's up to you. You got to finish the series.
Does it matter right now what we're going to talk about next?
I've got to give people something to look forward to.
Well, at a minimum, we're gonna go to the orchestra this summer.
Yeah, that's
Chicago Symphony
exciting.
Orchestra. They're gonna play. I guess I didn't pay attention at all when I read it, but I guess they're gonna show the movie and then play the orchestra gonna play along with the movie.
Oh.
Is what's gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were just gonna play the music
music
from The Force Awakens.
So we get to
Yeah.
watch the movie while the music is live?
That's
Yes.
what that's what John told me after I already had bought tickets for it. So yeah, that'll be exciting.
What the more exciting part is, it's the same weekend as what, Josh?
The NASCAR race in Chicago, downtown Chicago.
I don't know how they're going to fit a NASCAR race in Grant Park.
It's on the streets.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they're closing down Michigan Avenue. They're closing down Lakeshore for like a mile and a half on each side, and so they race basically around Grant Park.
That is unbelievable. We have got to go see that up close.
I presume they'll have it all set up, and they'll be like doing testing and stuff.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, should be interesting.
And for the symphony, I guess. Well, I mean, I really want to go see the symphony, but that NASCAR thing is like, I've never seen
Totally
I've never seen anything like that before. So that intrigues me.
I just happened to read an article about it, and I'm like, that's the weekend we're gonna go up there to go to the symphony.
What weekend is it?
The first weekend in July.
Okay. Just checking.
So that's exciting to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like 2 months away, though.
Maybe that'll be the next time we record.
Maybe.
Yeah, we really got to get on a better schedule. My job is so chaotic. It takes so much out of me. I don't know if I was meant to work. I think I'm not.
Yeah.
My hours are long
I'm not meant to work.
and exhausting. And if I work 2 days in a row, then I have to have a whole day to recover. It's hard. I never work the same schedule. Every single week is totally different too. So I can't have a routine. So it's hard.
That's good. I hate routines.
I hate
That's why we get along so well, babe.
As you get more senior, do you get more routine? Or you just have to go
No,
every day?
everybody's the same. Like you have the same requirements as far as like weekends and it's nobody, there's not really, the longest anybody has ever stayed is like 4 years. And that's extremely rare. And there's somebody there now that's leaving that's been there for about that long. And then, beyond that, like
But where do they go?
offices or move and go out of state or go to
But,
work in an office somewhere else.
That's the answer. They go to like a physician's office.
Yeah, they get a whole new job. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm asking. Like, what's the next step?
oh, I thought you just meant like at my
No,
job.
like that. Literally, did they move to like Rochester, New York? What's the next step in your career once you're done slaving away at the prompt care pits?
I want to work from home. I want to do telehealth.
Huh?
Make my own schedule. That's what I would like to do.
Is that something that people do, or is that just something you imagine?
Some people do work from home doing digital
Yeah.
health, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not, there's not a lot of openings around here. I'd have to find another
Funny
company.
thing about telehealth is
You
it
don't
doesn't
have
have to be from around here.
Yeah, but if you do it and it's not around here, then you have to, like a lot of places that are like more national, you have to have like 10 plus state licenses, and we don't have a compact state, so it's hard to get other state licenses when you live in Illinois. Harder. It's not easy.
Yeah, you have to take more tests, or you have to more.
I don't know.
classes?
Every state has their own requirements for licensing, so it's different.
I see.
You too could be a nurse practitioner. Exciting stuff. Okay, Book of Boba Fett's next. That sounds fun. That'll force Jenny to get through it.
You have to
And
watch it.
I
then
don't
we can talk about Mandalorian.
think I can talk
Maybe
about
before Ahsoka starts.
You could just talk about the Mandalorian parts of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
The Book of Boba Fett can be summarized very quickly.
Meet-
For the Boba Fett parts.
Meet Tusken.
Yeah.
Tusken, go away. Enter Jabba Palace. There it is.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. That's a good podcast. I think we're done. We're everywhere on the internet still, I think. StarWarsNerdsUnite.com. And send us letters at StarWarsNerdsUnite.com. And we will read you on the era. You guys, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Did you hear that? We're doomed.